Oh, and I drove right into it. There goes about 2 row units. Look what has happened. Somebody has turned around in that field that was already planted. You know, I shouldn't have to be doing this. We're not irrigation farmers, so we don't farm circles here. I don't know what this guy was thinking. Alright, so we have a 2160 case early riser. This thing's a 36 row. It's a monster. So I'm actually going to use that and pull it with one of the row tracks. I'm going to have a helper actually jump in this 8RX, and I'm going to have him plant soybeans with this thing. So we're going to have a 24 row planter going, and then we're going to have the 36 row. So we're going to knock out some acres pretty fast. These 2 fields right next to the farm are going to be beans, and then the 2 further away fields are going to be corn. So logistically, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge when the fall rolls around. However, the higher yielding corn will actually help our bank account. I mean, we ended up making just over $1 million on the sunflowers, and that really helped us out. So hopefully we'll be able to, and we did buy that case planter, so that was a good $300,050 down the drain. So hopefully with the income from this harvest, we'll be able to expand and be able to buy some more ground, hopefully. So we're going to start right next to the elevator. We're going to start in this field. Turn off there we go. So this, like I said, 36 row planter, it's fairly monstrous. I wish Custom would bring them, or I really don't care who would bring over the 2150, so then there's a case 24 row that we could be using instead of a John Deere, because that's all available right now on a 24 row is a John Deere. I think there's the in-game Kinsey, which isn't really that great because it lacks a lot of detail, and then there's the Vaterstad that was in the Plains and Prairie DLC, which that's actually a really good planter. But I don't know. I just really like the 2150, 2160, 24 row case planters. They're actually fairly nice planters. So, but yeah, we will start on our end rows here, get that going, and then we'll start going up and down the field. And then after we're done in this one, we're going to move over to the big field. So this guy, it won't take this guy very long to get this field done. It's a very small field. Seems to be having no issues so far. Hasn't put nothing in a tree or went across the road and done some... I still can't believe that happened. Like, I haven't had somebody, dig up a planted field in a really long time, actually. And it's very odd that they did some weird circle like that, too. I don't know. Ended up having to go over there and obviously fix it, so you can't even really tell now. Probably about 2 more passes here and we'll be done in this field. Our seed usage rate is really high. So yeah, that's not good. I don't know why it's so high. We should probably stop actually and go check on. Yep, check on this guy. He's finishing like a half pass. Because I don't need him going over there and doing anything else to the sugar beet field. I need these guys to stay in their own field and don't do that again. Or else we're firing more people. Anywho. Probably going to fill him up with seed and then he should be good to go to finish. Or completely do the field across the road, I guess I should say. It's actually a really nice planter. And, 24 row is actually a 24, 30-inch spacing. It's 40 feet, so it's not huge, but it's not small either. But after you pull a 36 row or a 48 row, especially, 24 just seems so tiny. All right, so we're going to pull into the farmyard. We're going to fill this planter. And we're going to send this guy into the field across from the farm. And then I'm going to finish out like the last two passes next to the elevator. And then I'm going to move down to the big field, the Godfrey farm, we call it. And I'm going to start planting corn in there. And if this guy gets done before I'm 3/4 of the way done, then I might move this tractor down there to help me, which is going to be a little weird because this is a 24 row planter. I have a 36, so might be a little odd, but if I put this guy on the other end of the field, then it'll be all right. So by the way, I ended up buying a new farm truck. I got rid of the F250, F350, I can't remember what that was. I got rid of the single rear wheel truck, and I bought this 2024 High Country. It's a dually. It's got a Bradford built flatbed on the back. I believe this is a ranch hand front bumper. Yeah, it's a ranch hand. This is actually a really, really nice model. So we ended up getting this because I don't know what was up with the Ford, but you could not pull trailers faster than 30 miles per hour. So, and we can't be having that because that's just too dang slow. So we got this, and this is way better. So, pretty happy with this High Country. Alright, so if we cannot whack the building with the auger here, we're going to run over here and we're going to top off this. Well, actually, we're actually going to fill this plant. There is no topping off because it's basically empty. Oh, and I drove right into it. There goes about 2 row units. Alright. We should be able to do this with this folded up. I think we can do this folded up. Yeah. It's awfully close. Of course, I'm awfully close to it as well. I can definitely say this thing steers kind of weird. You cannot really turn sharp with it because it does have the transport wheels in the middle. Because if it was just the tracks in the back and it didn't really have those, oh yeah, this thing would turn a lot sharper than it does. But the fact that it's got these like walking tandems, I guess, it does not turn as sharp. Turns okay, but not super sharp. So last two fields, yeah, last two fields because we only own 5. Probably gonna pick up some more land this fall. Don't know where it's gonna be, if it's gonna be near the farm or if we're gonna come somewhere else on the map. I should find a field we've never farmed before and do that. Alright, so we are unfolding, and then we're gonna get to slinging some seed into the ground. This planter is so weird. Like, I know y'all just watched the tandems do some really weird maneuvers. Like, that was just really, really weird. Please start the engine. I don't know why the engine was turned off. Alright, let's see what this field does for seed usage. I'm curious if it's going to be, you know, as bad and as high as that last field was. Set it down and turn it on. So this field got anhydrous put on it. The field next to the elevator got anhydrous as well. No, it did not get anhydrous. So we will need to put something. The plan was we were going to put starter on in that field. However, the fact that we're using this case planner and it doesn't have any liquid tanks, fertilizer tanks, that plan kind of went out the window. So now we're going to have to come back and put something on that field. But the plan was we weren't even going to run this. We weren't even going to get this big planner. We were just going to have that John Deere do everything until I realized I'm like, there's no way. There's just too much acreage right now for that small of a planter. We need another planter, so we ended up getting this thing. The plan was to put starter on that field. That's why there was no anhydrous put on that field. We may move away from anhydrous, actually, because I think starter may be the way to go. Alright, let's take a look at ours, and of course, the autosave kind of drives me nuts. Okay, so the seed usage is not, you know, through the roof like it was the other field for some reason. Well, that's good. What about the beans? Nope, beans are doing pretty good too. Yeah, so for whatever reason, the field next to the elevator was just sky high for some unknown reason. Everything else seems to be doing pretty well. And I really don't understand why this planter. I mean, obviously you see everything's like sunk down into the ground. And the hitch is obviously pitched up. I do not understand why. How do I make it go back down? There it goes. I do not understand why. Every time it folds up, see now everything's popped back out of the ground and looks significantly better. It's still, I think, kind of low into the ground a little bit, but it's a lot better than what it was. And it's all from just, you know, dropping this hitch down. I don't understand why when it folds up, it does not, and you unfold it, it does not come back down to its how you had it set. Why it stays up in the air like that. Or it pitches up and puts everything else down into the ground. I don't understand that. I wish it would stay, you know, how you have it set when it's unfolded. It'd go back to that instead of you having to put it down every time. But another thing I'm actually surprised. Now I know the 2150s had it. This thing does not have a trailer hitch on it. So you could pull like a fertilizer cart behind you. It does not have that. Which you could easily add one in here. It wouldn't be that hard. You could honestly just have an attacher joint and then not even have a hitch, to be honest, and just pull a cart behind you. But I'm a little surprised this thing doesn't have that. And here's my other thought about fertilizer carts is, you know, that these guys who are pulling these fertilizer carts, you know, all of their fields on the ends, or the corners, I should say, are rounded corners, because you're not backing into the corner with a fertilizer cart behind you, especially if there's like along like a tree line or a creek or something. Like, it ain't happening because there's no room for, nowhere for the cart to go. So you know that all their fields are curved. It's a random thought that I had. All right, so we had to get the John Deere unfolded. I folded up and put it by the road because I'm like, yeah, we're gonna one pass this left with the big planter. Nope, we had about 6 to 8 rows left, so I'm like, we can't leave that strip So we had to unfold, and now we are about to finish this out. I gotta do one little end piece there, and then I gotta go to the other end of the field and knock out the end with this tractor because that one will take two. This one, I think this one can hit it in one because this field was originally set up around this one. All right, so we got the planters folded up, sitting by the road. We're gonna probably move them back down to the farm, or we might go do a couple other things first. I don't know, but that's gonna be it for the video. I know it was a pretty uneventful video. Actually, we didn't really have any struggles or any problems, which is good. It's what you want. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Definitely share the video, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time.